confidence and assurance that he can once again be the real deal. And now let's go to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the new Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, as we have a big night of action coming away, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions in association with HBO Sports, Bally's Atlantic City, Caesars Atlantic City, and the undisputed king of beers, Budweiser. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Larry Hazard, Commissioner. The chairman is Jerry Gormley, board member Stephen Katz. Introducing to you our three judges scoring this main event from ringside. From New York, Melvina Lathan. From New Jersey, John Stewart. Also from New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. And the third man to the ring, our referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Tony Orlando. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing in a heavyweight elimination special attraction. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Atlantic City, New Jersey, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing blue trunks with silver trim, hailing from Baltimore, Maryland. He weighed in at 224 pounds. His record stands at 35 wins, 3 losses, 29 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the WBC #3 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Hasim Rahman. And his opponent across the ring on my right, ready to fight out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing red trunks with purple trim, representing his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in at a ready 216 pounds. His record, 37 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, with 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome boxing's true warrior. Here is the one and only 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Evander, the real deal, Holyfield. Once again, here's our referee in charge now to give instructions, Tony Orlando. 12 rounds of boxing schedule.
Okay, gentlemen, you received my instructions in dressing room. Therefore, I expect a clean, professional fight. I want you to watch your heads, watch your low blows. Listen to my commands at all times. I want you to touch gloves, go back to your corner, wait for the bell.
Early in his career, Evander Holyfield used to take opponents to the woodshed. Later in his career, he's been trying to take them to school. Yesterday, he indicated that maybe he has to rethink all of this school stuff. So let's see if he tries to recapture some of his youth against a conventional opponent.
George, does Rock's new sleek 224-pound body mean that he's definitely going to be boxing, moving, and staying outside?
It wouldn't hurt him to box and move, I tell you that. Holyfield is not a good aggressor. He does best when you bring the fight to him. So you want to move around, just step and jab, and wait until he make a mistake. He's not able to get away from right hands like he used to. Holyfield has got to make certain that if he get hit with anything, it's a left hook, because this guy's got nothing on the left hook. It's the right hand you got to beware of.
In his big win over Lewis in South Africa, Rahman threw many jabs by CompuBox numbers, 28 per round. In his loss to Lewis in Las Vegas, he was much less active with the jab, and that created new opportunities for Lennox.
It's good that Rahman is faster, though. A little weight off him, he can bounce around every now and then.
popping to the body in the first minute. Rahman working the jab upstairs. Holyfield sends an airmail right, too long.
You see Holyfield, he has his big punch is that left hook to the body. It's too bad he's never been able to get that same power on top with the left hook. Mainly because he's had to reach at big guys, and that's why.
But he is being more aggressive than we've seen him in some recent fights.
And that's where Rahman can just take his time and let that right hand go if Holyfield decides to step in constantly. Holyfield has got to make certain if this fight goes beyond 4 rounds and he's landing some good body shots, because this guy can hit Rahman.
Holyfield sometimes looked slow and lethargic in his 3 battles with John Reeves. He has so far looked lively and energetic in round 1 here tonight.
Good body work by Rahman right there.
As that terrifying left hook that Holyfield tries to get in.
Let him go, let him go. Step back. Step back out of there.
That is, make Holyfield step forward. If he steps forward trying to jab or throw shots, Rahman can nail him all night. Just don't go after Evander Holyfield. Step around to the side.
Stiff left hand by Rahman. Doubling up on the jab there. Rock with a good active showing in the first round. Holyfield mashing him with that left hook inside. 1-2 lands for Holyfield. Rahman came back with a left hand of his own. Holyfield working to the body and Rahman feeling it as round 1 comes to a close.
A hell of a round it was, too.
What on your head? Put him down. Tell me what that good?
She's hitting me on your arm trying to check you out. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
So get that hand out of there quick.
Okay.
Absent your combination, you must have your hands in position, okay? And make those circles, you make them fast, all right? Make them fast. Anything in 2s and 3s, not no big shots, okay? And the jab's gonna lead you all the way, okay? Keep that jab working your home feet, baby.
Good job. Use that thing. Make him respond to that thing.
Miguel, take this, okay? You'll be home feet, son, all right? This hard work gonna pay off.
CompuBox estimate, I should say CompuBox estimates in round 1. Holyfield 14 out of 41. Rahman 20 out of 49. Both guys had their moments. Both guys threw the jab in the neighborhood of 20 times and landed it about 25% of the time. Pretty even looking round by the numbers.
Rahman's corner has got him backing up just a little bit, which is good. Evidently, he's got a counter punch as a trainer making a counter punch out of it. And the good thing about this fight for Rahman is that Holyfield is fighting like a heavyweight. His big gift used to be he fought like a light heavyweight in a heavyweight title fight.
So that his activity level was difficult for some heavyweights to deal with.
That's right, but not any longer. As a matter of fact, Rahman is able to sneak in jabs, throw one shot, and Evander is still in the same position. Holyfield waits to counter with that right hand.
The contrast you described, Holyfield better as a defender than an attacker, was illustrated in the 4 fights against Lewis and Tyson. Holyfield beating Tyson twice, a man who would come to him and attack, twice having difficulty with Lewis, who sat back and waited for Evander to attack him.
Break! Step back clean. Step back, let's go.
Rahman is better turn on some power now because he's not landing any body shots to take away Holyfield's explosiveness later on in the fight.
Work out of there.
Good jab to the body. Rahman's being schooled. Whoa, and a right hand on top.
Let him go.
That's what you want to do if you're Rahman. Go to the jab to the body. Jab to the body. Make him protect his body and then go on top with your right hand.
Not likely to get a chance to get a running start on a right hand here the way he did in knocking Lewis out in South Africa.
He caught Lewis falling asleep.
Come on, let him go at it. It's the way to go.
Combination by Holyfield. Rahman again going to the body inside.
Let go. All right, break. No punch in. Step back clean. Step back clean.
Whoa. Good jab together. Rahman's got the better of it.
Come on, let him go. Let him go. Come on. Step back. Step back.
Part of Rahman's success in South Africa, he out-jabbed the jabber in the first few rounds against Lewis. That helped to create the tentativeness in Lewis that gave him the chance for the big knockout. Holyfield will never be tentative. He keeps coming.
Break. You hold him. Hold it. Break. Break. When I say break, no punching.
Rahman didn't like that left hook. That hurt him that time.
Round 2 comes to a close. Next Saturday night, we remind you, heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson finally face off. One of the most talked about fights in the past 5 years. Lewis looking to a win over Tyson to prove once and for all that he's the best of his era. Tyson looking to recapture the magic that made him one of the most exciting, crowd-pleasing heavyweights of all time. Lewis Tyson is on next Saturday night on pay-per-view. And tonight, stick with us after the conclusion of this fight when we'll have a conversation with Lennox Lewis from Memphis, where he has arrived in preparation for the big fight. Tyson, incidentally, has also arrived and settled in Memphis, Tennessee.
Jabs working good.
Watch the big right hand. Watch the big right hand. That's what it's looking for.
Exhale hard.
Give me a big one, Paul.
That's all right.
Come on, give me a big one.
Bump him hard. Make it work.
The Boardwalk Center, totally refurbished, beautiful facility. It's not entirely new. It's built within the shell of the old Atlantic City Convention Center, but a far more glamorous environment than used to be the case. And big crowd here tonight to watch Evander Holyfield in what may be the twilight of his career.
That was a right hand. That was a right hand that hurt Rahman, and he picked Evander Holyfield up by the legs to conceal it. Better make sure he get his head up out of there.
Holyfield connected with the left hook inside too. And now Rahman starts to back away, and Holyfield nails him with a right cross. Holyfield pushing Rahman into the corner.
Holyfield trying to peel the years away, fighting as aggressively as he is. Can he sustain it?
One thing about throwing that many punches, and you're not the bigger guy as Holyfield is, you need a rest. You got to take a breather for a second, and that's when Rahman should jump right back on him. You got to make him pay. As soon as he throws 5 punches, get back on it.
Ever since the middle of his career, Evander Holyfield, despite his extraordinary conditioning, has often fought in spurts, 20, 30 seconds at a time, then back off, seemingly needing to regain his energy.
Well, he's basically a middleweight built up with fine conditioning and weightlifting and good nutrition. Some of these guys are naturally big. All they are just big. Their feet are big, their heads are big. And when you throw 3 shots at them, you get tired.
So you're saying Holyfield's size is self-manufactured rather than natural?
But everybody should be manufactured like that by themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And what about the notion that he wasn't really a big heavyweight puncher, George?
Well, he'd made up for it in a big heart. Heavyweights, no matter how big they are, they can't take these big hearts.
Nah, come on, fellas. Hold it.
First minute of the round was big for Evander Holyfield. Now in the second minute of the round, his pace has slowed, and Rahman is back into it.
Yeah, Holyfield was able to land some punches, but it took more out of him than it did Rahman.
Come on, work out of there. Let's go.
After he finished beating Rahman up, Rahman came, pushed him into the corner, and started hitting him back.
Good left inside by Holyfield, digging to the rib cage again.
Let's go.
Hasim Rahman has a strong body. Evander Holyfield seems determined to test it as no other fighter has.
And Rahman is an ex-football player too. Those football players, they're accustomed to bumping shoulders with people, running into them, and they don't get hurt.
Yeah, but they're not accustomed to being whacked in the belly and the liver. Nobody is.
They will whack you in the liver in football. In the belly, too.
Way to straighten it out.
Put your legs out. Put your legs out. Rock, baby, you ain't too far away. Let this guy lead. You need to lead, son. Okay? Just relax a little bit. Relax a little bit. Give me anything the 3s and 4s in here.
Speed, and later on we'll start loading up. You can hook.
Your feet move under here. You hit him 3 or 4 times in a row.
Your hook will eat him up. Your hook will eat him up, but watch that right hand because he's still bait.
Against the limited John Ruiz, Holyfield was smothered, and you never or rarely saw him in this kind of attitude in the ring. Against a more conventional fighter like Rahman, a boxer puncher who wants to give and take, he can operate. And Evander Holyfield is operating.
CompuBox numbers in round 3, a big round for Holyfield in the power punching category. Holyfield 18 out of 28 in power punches in round 3, including many body shots early in the round, which seemed to take something out of Rahman. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, was I heard to say Evander Holyfield couldn't pull the trigger? Man, I tell you, in the second and the third round, Evander Holyfield pulled the trigger. 2 rounds to 1, 29-28 Evander Holyfield. Sensational left hooks, good right hands by Evander Holyfield, clean punches that the judges couldn't miss, winning rounds 2 and 3. Rahman the busier guy in the first round.
Yeah, every time he's gone out into the fight, Holyfield, his corner has said to him, just watch the right hand. He believes, apparently, that the only way he can lose to Rahman is with that right hand. And Rahman doesn't throw a left hook. And right now, if he can avoid it, it looks like he can have a heck of a night.
You know, earlier this evening, I spoke off camera to a guy who fought both of them, Lennox Lewis. I said, who do you like tonight? He said, I got a hunch on the old man tonight. He said, logic says Rahman, but something in my heart tells me Evander will be big tonight. So far, Lennox is right.
All right, break. Step back. Let's be careful, guys. Come on.
They talk about Evander Holyfield watching that right hand, but he's not doing much of moving away from it at all. As a matter of fact, I find him in harm's way most of the time. It's just that Rahman is not getting off with that right hand.
Evander's so proud of his ability to roll with punches. He thinks he can roll from anything, but he got nailed with the right hand right there.
There it is again.
Keep him up.
Uppercut lands for Holyfield. Rahman has landed the right hand 4 times in the round.
Get off. Come on. Come on, Rahman. Get them hands off there.
Rahman has got to know that when Holyfield starts leaning in like that, he may be hurt. Don't think he's looking for a leverage.
Evander starts trying to go back to the body to slow Rahman's attack upstairs. Here's another vicious left hook to the ribcage by Holyfield.
Watch your heads, gentlemen.
This is when Rahman should be fighting. This guy cannot throw 5 shots and then do anything after. Holyfield throws 3 good shots. He's got to take his breath.
Slow punching. Let's go.
Well, there goes the dancing, bobbing, counter punching, and weaving Rahman. He's gone now as Rahman leans in and slugs with Evander on the inside.
Now, I don't know why, but he's not opening up. I thought the 224 pounds should have been a little better for him to move around and catch Holyfield when he backs up like
Maybe
that.
the body shots have taken the foot movement away.
Holyfield is throwing roundhouses. All of that benefits Rahman because it takes so much out of him.
Holyfield busting Rahman on the top of the head with a right hand. Rock looking to set up another right cross before the round ends.
You got a lot more weapons. You gotta stay focused. Don't get off your jab. You started getting off your jab that round, and that's why he was able to take you to the ropes and throw the right hand. Don't get off your jab. Keep your left hand high, and keep your head moving.
Your best aim.
It's nothing, but it's a cut. It's nothing, but it's a cut.
I warned him.
Headbutt.
Okay,
right,
that was a headbutt.
And the
Rock, we know it was coming. We can't hide behind that.
There was their straight right hand. You can see that the way Holyfield tries to defend the right hand sometimes, it was with his right across the top, and just as he did in South Africa, but with less effect, Rahman threaded through his defense.
Meanwhile, you saw the referee, Tony Orlando, and the ring doctor in Rahman's corner to examine what appears to be a nick over Rahman's left eye. You heard the discussion, and apparently Orlando agreeing that the nick must have come from a headbutt rather than a punch. Not sure how he knows, but that seemed to be the determination.
Rahman complained as soon as he was headbutted. They ran heads together. He complained. The referee knew about it. Rahman has got to get back on his jab. Don't worry about the right hand. Let the right hand come to you.
Left hook by Holyfield after a right hand by Rahman.
Step back, step back.
Energy levels just about equal in there. 10-year age gap not showing up so far.
An old man has no right to be fighting this way.
Come on, guys, let's go.
We got to get some of Evander Holyfield's DNA and implant it in a few other heavyweights.
There you go. There you go. Rahman is successful with his jabs.
Holyfield misses with a roundhouse left.
Let's go. Watch your head. Come on, keep the head out of there. All right, break.
This is a real courageous and brave fight by Rahman, being that he was just stopped by another champion not too long ago. He's coming back like he's never been out.
Yesterday, Hasim Rahman said, I don't just want to win. I want to look good in the fight. I want it to be a great fight. I want people to be interested in what I'm doing in there. I don't need to knock him out. I just need to make a big impression in this fight.
He can do that if whenever Evander Holyfield lands 3 shots, keeps his hand up, he can get him with 4 afterwards, because Evander's not in a position to defend himself after he throws 4 punches.
Hard right hand by Rahman. Busted Holyfield on the chin. Evander again shows his enormous ability, as he's shown throughout his career, to take a punch.
He's always been able to take.
Watch your head.
You just don't want to take too many of them. For the first time in the fight, there are subtle signs that Holyfield is slowing down just a bit. More and more frequently, he throws 1 punch at a time instead of backing up the punch with a combination. There's another big right hand. Another big right hand by the Rock. Evander with his own right hand. Don't count me out yet, he says. Next Saturday night on pay-per-view, it's Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson in a long-awaited matchup for the heavyweight championship. June 22, HBO pay-per-view. The rematch of 2000's Fight of the Year, when Eric Morales takes on Marco Antonio Barrera in a 126-pound showdown. And on June 29 on HBO, heavyweight Vladimir Klitschko continues his quest for a possible title shot. Klitschko will do battle with the always tough Ray Mercer. HBO, the heart and soul of boxing.
Keeping your right hand high, okay? Give me that feint. Give me that feint. Walking to the left. Keep the right hand high.
Keep bumping. Don't stand in front of him. You don't need to. This guy leans all over. Come on, let's go.
Get back on him.
One more time, the big weapon of Rahman, a straight right hand.
CompuBox numbers in round 5. Both fighters threw fewer than 40 punches. The pace begins to slow just a little bit. Holyfield landing 15, Rahman landing 16. Very even round. Harold Letterman scoring the fight. Fairly even so far. Round 6 of a scheduled 12.
Holyfield has better make sure if he's going to throw a right hand, he better come back with a left hook, because if he stays out there, this guy will beat him with the right.
Big right hand by Holyfield. Sets up 2 lefts, including an uppercut that knocks Rahman back. Holyfield sensing the moment. Another big left hook upstairs. Rahman not yet punching back. Now the Rock starts to throw.
Break. Step back.
Rockman has got to start throwing punches. After Holyfield throws 5 shots, he's no good. That's why you see him holding right now. Rockman has got to start throwing shots.
Well said, George. Holyfield taking one of those breathers now after the big offensive rally. This is Rahman's chance to come right back at him. But Rock is letting that moment pass.
Let him go. Let him go.
You don't get many moments in these big fights like this when you got punches. You got to take advantage of them while they're there.
And if you've watched Evander Holyfield at all over these past 8 years, you know there's usually a lull after the storm. That's your opportunity.
Whoa!
Rock with a straight right.
Now he doesn't even know. He's not even aware that he's hurting.
Come on, keep those punches
He had a big smile on his face as just after he landed that. I got you, old guy.
Now go back to your jab if you're Rockman. Just keep the jab going. He always gets the best of the jabs.
Break. Step back. Step back. Gentlemen, watch your heads.
They trade jabs there, and Holyfield out jabs Rahman 2-1.
Hold it. Come on, step back, please.
Well, that referee is going to have a lot of work on his hand tonight. Rockman is doing the counter punching now.
Break. Step back. Step back. Come on, work out. Let's go. Let's go. Watch your head, Evander. Watch your head.
Over and over and over. Rahman with the 1-2.
All right, Brett,
1-2.
step back. Come on, watch your head.
Jab, right cross. As George pointed out at the top of the show,
Come on, let him go. Let's go.
or at the beginning of the fight, I should say, Rahman doesn't do much with the left hook.
Oh, if you're Holyfield, you just stay around on that left side. Stay around on that left side.
All right, Brett.
If he stays on Rockman's left arm, he's out of harm's way all night.
Go.
Don't give the round away in the last 20 seconds. Don't go, don't stop. Don't get passive the last 20 seconds. Don't do that. You want to hustle that last 20 seconds. You understand?
Pay attention forward direction.
Okay.
When you hit him with a 1-2 like you did, hit him with 3 more punches right
That's
after.
right. That's right.
Very good, Rock.
Hey, yeah, dude. Take that.
Don't let him on that left side, Rock. Even inside, Rock, don't let him on your left side. Get to the side, he's going to headbutt you and look for the hook.
Early in the round, Holyfield did some serious business. Did it carry him through the round and earn him the 10-9.
How even could this fight be? CompuBox numbers in the 6th. They both landed 19 punches. They both threw right about 40. Holyfield 39, Rahman 40. Crowd oohs and ahs again. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, I agree. I got it all even, 57-57, 3 rounds apiece. Hasim Rahman came back and, he rides Evander Holyfield across the ring. He used to do that very early in his career. He's real good at it. Just like George Foreman said, he leads that shoulder into you and whacks you with the free hand. Evander Holyfield can't ride Rahman across the ring because Rahman's stronger. But in round 6, Evander, I think, stole it with that early rally. So 3 rounds apiece.
I have the same score.
What I can understand is Rahman is so successful with his left jab, and he hardly throws it. Now these jabs he can't miss.
Maybe he doesn't want to get hit by that right hand, George.
No, he's in no harm as long as he's throwing that left jab. Nothing is going to happen to him.
And you heard Rahman's corner echoing George Foreman saying, don't let him get around on your left side. George pointing out as he has that Rock doesn't use the left hook.
Holyfield should do good to stay to the left, but evidently he has problem moving to his right. Holyfield does. Doesn't like to do it, and if you move to his left, he doesn't have problem. He can't see you well.
Ruled a push, not a knockdown. More of a high tackle than anything else, although Rock did land an overhand right.
Let's go. Step back clean.
There's that successful left jab.
And there's a big left hook by Holyfield. Stops Rahman in his tracks. Left to the body. Left hook upstairs. Holyfield trying to attack and seal the deal. Rahman comes back.
Now Rahman has got to pour it on. This is his time to pour it on. Look like a big swelling on Rahman's head.
Let him go.
There is a huge knot on Rahman's head above his left eye. That's what the doctors were getting ready to look at a couple rounds ago, obviously. That's what came from the bump.
That's another bump.
Step back. Let him go.
Can you imagine Holyfield has him up against the rope, throwing a lot of shots, and as Holyfield holding on, that's what you want. Make him throw those shots.
All right, break, come on. Xander, keep that head.
Right, so you think the lump on Rahman's head came from another butt?
Yeah, they've been bumping heads all night. And
How distracting is it to Rahman to have something like this?
Well, this is his moment of truth. He can't even let anything distract him now. He's got to go for it.
Yeah, he's feeling it. You see him rubbing it with the glove. And Holyfield hits it with the right hand.
That's about as nasty a bump as I've ever seen above a fighter's eye, almost on the forehead.
There it is.
You can work with that, though. If you're a good corner man, you can work with that.
Miguel Diaz. That's about as good a corner man as you'll find right there working on it.
You can work with that because there's no chance to blow your nose, but that thing is moving up there.
Settle down. Settle down.
You push it out, we'll go to the scorecard.
Let's see where they butted. Well, there are two fighters fighting at close quarters, coming in at each other.
There it is, right on the spot.
Yep.
Holyfield is a rough fighter, not a dirty fighter. When you fight him at close quarters,
get ready.
Almost anything goes.
Well, various opponents throughout Evander's career have complained that he butted, but most ringside experts agree Evander doesn't seem to try to foul on purpose. It's just the way he fights. He's there, he's coming. If you go inside with him, it's going to be rough.
Let's keep our eye on that and see if that's true.
Schedule 12, and the 39-year-old fighter is trying to take the 29-year-old to the woodshed.
Rahman is holding on for dear life.
Yeah, the old lion sees a wounded creature in front of him, and that seems to have energized him.
Well, remember, this happened to Rahman in Africa. Lewis thought he had him hurt, played around with him, and he ran into that magic right hand.
But Evander's not just waiting for one big punch, the way Lewis did in South Africa.
He's going, he's continuously throwing shots.
And he's not giving Rahman any room to do the things that Rock does best. Jab, throw the right hand. That knot is amazing.
But it doesn't seem to be bothering Rahman.
Yeah, you can feel it on your head. You get those things like that, it irritates you good.
That is one of the most grotesque things I've ever seen on a prize fighter.
Yeah. What is the danger of that, George? Can you tell?
Yeah, I think maybe that got cracked little skull. You know, you got bones up there, and sometimes you can get into those bones and make things swell bad. I wouldn't let him fight anymore if I was the referee. That thing is going to go all the way down to his eyes.
It's a collection of blood under there, okay?
Right, we're not going to go.
It's not dangerous to you, but if you feel you can't see, then you shouldn't continue.
I'm going to shoot better.
Blurry.
Okay,
they're going to stop the fight, I believe. The doctor said to Rahman, it's not dangerous, but if you can't see the fight.
Stop it.
And we're going to
the scorecards.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And it's an accidental butt. Okay.
We're going to go to the scorecards.
Gotta go to the scorecards.
Right, okay.
The Jersey State Athletic Commission Chairman Larry Hazard giving the instructions to referee Tony Orlando. Orlando makes the signal there. The fight is going to be stopped right here. They'll go to the scorecards and determine a winner.
The doctors. Yeah, the doctor said to Rahman, the bump isn't dangerous, but if you can't see, the fight should stop. And Rahman said something to the effect that it was affecting his eyesight, and that's why they stopped the fight.
Harold Letterman, your take on this.
Okay, Jim, I got to tell you what may determine this fight. Now, this is a guess, but I think it's an educated guess. When you stop a fight in the middle of the round, you have to score the round in which the fight is stopped. Now, obviously, Evander Holyfield wins round 8, 10-9. This might be a big factor in this thing. I mean, I've got it right now, 5 rounds to 3 in favor of Holyfield. I mean, because of the fact that he won that 8th round. Rahman did nothing but protect the lump in the 8th round. Now, as far as the corner goes, Miguel Diaz was using an end swell. When you get a lump like that, you got to have an ice bag ready. You have, just like he has on it right now. You got to have a big ice bag. But between rounds 7 and 8, he used the end swell. Wrong way to treat that.
George, you're satisfied they're doing exactly the right thing with this because
exactly
of the
the right thing. I think this is more than fair. Go to the scorecards. This guy cannot continue. It was an accidental hit, but this is going to be a fair decision.
Here's the but. Once again, that's the clash of heads which produced the swelling.
That's the second one.
You can see the swelling begin immediately after that clash of heads. I mean, the swelling has already begun within seconds there after the clash of heads you saw in that replay. And yes, you're right, George. That was the second one.
Yeah.
That was not the one which occasioned the doctor's first visit over to Rahman's corner a little bit earlier.
There's got to be something seriously wrong with that eye to have that kind of swelling.
I saw that in a fight between Randall Bailey and Evander Julio in Miami 2 years ago on the undercard of Felix Trinidad against Mamadou Thiam. And later I had a chance to ask Bailey how much it bothered him, and he said, you know, I wasn't really all that conscious of it during the fight. He said when I got to the locker room afterward, I couldn't believe it because I looked, you know, misshapen, as though my face had completely changed.
Yeah, you don't have a mirror when you're out there in the ring, so you just have to guess.
Yeah, Rock has no way of knowing exactly how that feels, but he's been touching it with his gloves, but of course he can't feel anything through his gloves. Meanwhile, they're totaling up the scorecards here to see if Evander Holyfield has gotten a huge and rejuvenating win in his career, albeit the impact of the win may be diminished by the circumstances under which he gets it, right, George?
That's right, and that's good that they got a similar promoter. That means a rematch. It was a good fight. It deserves a rematch.
It was a good fight. It was a great matchup that was bringing out terrific stuff from both fighters.
Do or die. Each fighter's had to produce tonight or he's out of the picture.
Maybe the scorecards will be even.
That wouldn't hurt anything either.
A grinning Don Turner above us. And Turner's probably smiling because of the performance of his fighter, Evander Holyfield, who looked like a lively young colt in there much of the time.
Oh, yeah, he was fighting like a big super heavyweight, not fighting like the little light heavyweight with not any weight. He stood
well, I guess he's
toe-to-toe.
finally settled into this thing, huh?
Yeah, I guess he said, look, I'm not going to lose weight. I'm not going down. I'm a heavyweight.
216 pounds and looking like a sleek, customized roadster. And tonight with some new gas in the tank.
Launching about the head from the beginning. That was one of our concerns from the beginning.
One question Rahman will have to answer for himself and for others after the fight. Why did he agree to fight Evander Holyfield at close quarters rather than to stay outside, box him, and use his jab? Did he have a choice, George?
I think that he was doing the right kind of fight. This bump just kind of messed things up the head, but this guy was able to withstand Holyfield's combinations and then come back. But later on, I mean, the headbutt, you mix that into get that into the mix, and then things don't go well.
Well, Tyson in particular was one fighter who complained that Holyfield butts. Have you ever seen it intentionally?
Well, he seems to go to the same spot all the time.
Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. to see what the official scorecard said.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at 1 minute 40 seconds in round number 8 due to an accidental headbutt. Our physician at ringside ruling that Rahman, suffering from a severe hematoma, is unable to continue. Therefore, we go to the scorecards. Judge at ringside, Steve Weisfeld, scores about 69-64 in favor of Evander Holyfield. Judge at ringside, Malvina Lathan, scores about 67-66 in favor of Hasim Rahman. Judge at ringside, John Stewart, scores about 69-64 in favor of the technical decision winner, Evander, the real deal, Holyfield.
Harold Letterman, you said they had to score the 8th round.
You have to score the partial round. They were entirely wrong. Now listen to me. If you knock a guy down 15 times or something like that in the 8th round, you got to get credit for those knockdowns. You must score the partial round, period. And I know those rules inside and out. I would question Commissioner Larry has it about the 8th round.
However, it's a moot point, isn't
Correct.
it?
It is
because
a moot
Holyfield would have won the 8th by all logic, and the decision would have remained the same.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Harold Letterman had Holyfield winning.
And there are the judges' scorecards. Malvina Lathan with Rahman on top. Stewart and Weisfeld both with Holyfield on top. Even if all 3 judges were to have scored the 8th round for Rahman, it would still be a Holyfield victory by majority decision. Or by split decision, I should say. Split technical decision, to be totally accurate about it. Let's go to Larry Merchant, standing by with the man who has now taken the bitter end of this.